Have you ever thought about becoming a notary public in Vermont, but literally felt a wave of dread at the thought of navigating state bureaucracy?
Yeah, I hear you. Government websites can feel like a giant, confusing maze. But what if I told you that becoming a trusted, income-boosting Vermont public official is actually an incredibly straightforward and affordable process? Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to completely demystify the process of getting your Vermont notary commission.
If you're looking to add a really valuable skill to your resume, or maybe start a helpful side hustle, you are exactly in the right place. I know, digging through legal jargon and state statutes isn't exactly anyone's idea of a fun afternoon. And that is exactly why we've combed through all the official requirements from the Vermont Secretary of State's Office of Professional Regulation to build you a clear, chronological roadmap to success. No fluff, just the exact steps you need to take.
Okay, let's dive right into this. We've got a 5-step roadmap for you today. 1. Role and eligibility requirements. 2. The step-by-step application. 3. Fees and essential supplies. 4. Launching your notary practice. And 5. Maintaining your commission.
Section 1. Role and eligibility requirements. Do you qualify?
Well, before you invest any time into filling out forms, we need to make sure you're legally good to go for this trusted position in the Green Mountain State. The baseline prerequisites are strict, but they're simple. You've got to be at least 18 years old and a U.S. citizen or a permanent legal resident. Now pay close attention to this next one, because it's absolutely crucial. You must either be a resident of Vermont or have a physical place of employment or practice in the state. If you have absolutely zero physical connection to Vermont, you just can't get a commission there. And lastly, you must have no disqualifying criminal history. But, what exactly does that mean?
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how Vermont actually handles background checks. Unlike some states that just have this automatic blanket ban on anyone with a felony, Vermont takes a much more nuanced approach. The Office of Professional Regulation, or OPR for short, states that a conviction won't necessarily prevent a commission. Each case gets due process. Now, that being said, if you have a felony or a crime involving fraud, dishonesty, or deceit, they can definitely deny your commission. You just have to make sure you disclose everything honestly when you apply. Moving on to Section 2, the step-by-step application, navigating the OPR portal.
So, assuming you meet those baseline qualifications, you're ready to apply. And good news, Vermont modernized its entire system back in 2019. Gone are the days of paper applications. The whole shebang is digital now. First up, you'll download the official Oath of Office form, sign it exactly as you intend to sign your notarizations, and have it notarized by a current notary. Once that's scanned onto your computer, Step 2 is just creating your online account in the OPR portal. Step 3 is passing the state exam. And Step 4, upload your docs and pay the $30 application fee. It's super efficient. But I know the word exam probably just made your heart skip a beat, right?
Let's demystify this test, because honestly, the Vermont jurisprudence exam is actually one of the gentler notary exams out there. It's a completely open book, 30-question, multiple-choice test based on state statutes and OPR rules. You literally download the test and the answer sheet during your online application, take it on your own time using the statutes as a guide, and then just upload your completed sheet. You need a 24 out of 30 to pass, meaning you can miss up to 6 questions. And if you miss more than that, you simply retake it. It's really designed to ensure you understand the rules, not to trick you.
Oh, and here's a quick, pretty surprising fact for any legal professionals tuning in. If you are a Vermont licensed attorney or a specific type of judiciary employee, you are entirely exempt from the exam. You get to just skip that step completely and move right to the fee. Not bad, right?
Section 3. Fees and essential supplies. What will this cost?
So the crucial point is, a major concern for anyone starting a new gig is the startup cost. But you're going to be thrilled to hear that becoming a notary in Vermont is incredibly affordable. The absolute minimum startup cost is a flat $30 for the state application fee. That's it. The exam is included in that price. Now sure, you might choose to spend, say, $20 to $60 on a physical stamp and a journal, which, by the way, we highly recommend, or maybe another $30 if you want to perform online notarizations, but your mandatory state entry fee, just $30.
And this brilliantly illustrates one of Vermont's biggest quirks. You actually don't legally need a rubber stamp to notarize documents in this state. You can literally perform a legal notarization with just a pen, as long as you neatly write or type your name, title, commission number, and expiration date. Crazy, right? Having said that, almost everyone buys a stamp anyway, because writing all that out every single time gets exhausting fast. Just remember one major rule. If you do buy a stamp, it absolutely must not include the Vermont state seal.
Here's another massive cost saver. There's zero surety bond required in Vermont. A lot of states force you to buy a bond to protect the public, but Vermont doesn't. However, keep in mind you are personally liable if you make a negligent mistake, and that is exactly why it's highly recommended to pick up an optional errors and omissions, or E&O, insurance policy. Think of it as a financial backstop to protect you if a simple, unintentional error leads to a lawsuit. Section 4. Launching your notary practice. Finding the right path.
All right, so your application is in, you paid your $30, and you got your approval email a few days later. Now what? Well, one of the most exciting ways to leverage your commission right now is through remote online notarization, or RON. Vermont fully authorizes this. It means you can notarize documents for people literally anywhere via a secure live video call. It does require an extra $30 special endorsement from the state, and you've got to use approved tech platforms. But here's the critical compliance rule. You absolutely must securely store the audio-video recordings of these remote sessions for at least 7 years. It's a fantastic earning opportunity as long as you follow those strict digital record-keeping rules.
Now, if you've been researching notary side hustles, you probably heard about becoming a loan signing agent. You know, someone who makes great money guiding people through mortgage documents. But we do need to manage expectations here. Vermont is what's called an attorney closing state. That means real estate closings, title searches, and deed preps are heavily handled by actual attorneys. Independent, freelance signing agent work is just much more limited here than in other states. So if you really want to work in real estate, you'll likely need to partner directly with local law firms rather than going totally solo.
Section 5. Maintaining your commission. Keeping your status active.
Let's move to and see how this builds, because you've worked hard to get this credential and you definitely don't want to lose it to a missed deadline. This brings us to another fascinating Vermont quirk. All notary commissions in Vermont run on a fixed statewide cycle. What does that mean? It means every single commission expires on January 31st of the next odd-numbered year. So for example, if you apply and get commissioned in mid-2026, your commission still expires on January 31st, 2027. It's an odd year. Your very first term might be much shorter than the standard 2 years, and no, the fee is not prorated.
When it does come time to renew on that odd year, there is one final requirement you've got to meet. The number 1. Yep, you must complete exactly 1 hour of state-approved continuing education every 2 years to renew your commission. It's just a simple, short course designed to ensure you're totally up to speed on any new laws or rules, ensuring total professional competence.
And that brings us to the end of our journey today. A quick but vital disclaimer before we wrap up. State laws, administrative rules, and fees can and do frequently change. While this explainer gives you a rock-solid foundation based on current statutes, always be sure to verify the latest details directly with the Vermont Office of Professional Regulation or a legal advisor before you dive in. You now have the complete roadmap. It's digital, it's affordable, and it's incredibly empowering. By stepping into this role, you aren't just stamping paper. You are acting as a vital, trusted guardian against fraud in your community's most important legal transactions. So with the barriers to entry this low, what's stopping you from taking the oath and becoming Vermont's newest line of defense?